Divorce is tough, but selling your home doesn't have to be.
Now, divorce is going to be one of the most emotionally and challenging experiences anyone goes through. You can have all sorts of feelings about it: anger, frustration, sadness. But it doesn't have to add all of that to when you're deciding to sell your home. You want to mix in the stress of selling your home, because that can be overwhelming. The questions you're going to ask: should you sell? Should you keep? Can one person afford to stay? Could we sell it to the other? If we can't afford to stay? We have helped people in these situations, and know the fact that you are not alone. We have helped homeowners buy and sell in Greenville, Pitt County all the time, and that extra step of selling the home through the divorce process is something we want to talk about, and there's 7 steps we want to talk about.
Seven things. We're gonna start with this question: do you have to sell your home when you're getting divorced? Therefore, as my wife said, not every couple really need to sell their home. In some cases, one spouse might want to keep the house that you're living, especially if your children are involved in the scenario. And here is some key to consider at this scenario. First, the mortgage qualification. If both spouses' income were used to qualify for that home mortgage that you are right now living, you can either one of them really afford to take over the mortgage? This is the first important question, which is the finance. The second thing is splitting the asset. If you own, for example, other properties or homes or larger asset, can you divide things fairly without selling the house that you were living with your spouse? And the third thing is also important, is the future plan. If one person keeps the house, will they be able to maintain it financially for a long term?
Now, in this situation, you're going to have to talk to a lender. We're happy to put you with one of our lenders who can talk to you about this, because if mortgage refinance is possible, if you qualify. So the second question we really need to talk about is who is going to stay in the home. Because if selling one to the other, who was staying until the sale happened? And this is North Carolina, so rules can be a little tricky with that. But 3 basic things we need to talk about. If both the houses are have to stay, this isn't ideal, but it's sometimes necessary, especially according to state law. Can one spouse stay while the other moves out? Can both spouses move out and leaving the home vacant? Now, things to consider in this situation is safety, of course. Is it safe for both of you to live there? Will the house be secure if left empty? This is where real estate agents start getting involved. Can you showcase the home? Vacant homes can feel less inviting to people, but if you leave the furniture, you might need it, but furniture does help sell the home faster. And there are ongoing costs. Even if people move out of the house, there's the home utilities, there's the mortgage, there's insurance, there's HOA fees. Who's taking care of those things until this home gets sold?
Exactly, which leads us to the number 3, who will list the home? And as my wife said, the divorce situation is not like a normal home sale that you do for anybody that wanted to move or relocate to another places. So it's very crucial that you connect with the real estate professionals that understand that this delicate situation that you are dealing with, and basically this agent can help you with this. Couple things that we're going to talk about. The first thing which is the most important is communicating with both parties very fairly. Mm-hmm. And even if the situation is tense and very uncomfortable. The second thing's navigating the complex negotiations, which is between the ex-spouses. And the third thing, ensuring a smooth transition without unnecessary stress. And do you want to add anything else?
No, I want to say my time as a lawyer did kind of prevent you or add to that layer of making sure people are treated fairly. It's just something you do by nature, and it is something we've been trained to do for a while. Next thing, number 4, what needs to get done in order to sell this home for hot dollar? Now, if this is a hot market where everything is flying off the shelves, maybe it doesn't cost so much. But in a situation to where it is a slower market, a balanced market, and emotions are high, making joint decisions on home repair can be a tough conversation to have. What repairs are getting done? Who's paying for them? Who's fixing them? Who's going to contribute to the staging cost? Making sure we stay up to date with our clients and avoiding those unnecessary expenses, because nobody wants to spend extra money on these houses, is really, really key.
Exactly. Also, the next tip is super important. What are the tax implication is? A selling home is actually, as my wife said, comes with the financial and taxes consequences, which especially during the wars happens. Therefore, you need to know before listing of homes, these items is super important. The first thing is capital gain tax. Will you owe taxes on the sale or not? This is what you need to know. The second thing is filing requirements. Filing requirement. How will the proceed going to be split between their spouses? And finally, is future buying power will affect your ability to buy another home after your divorce.
Next question is, how do you handle the tough negotiations? Because, buyer comes along, they want to buy the house, and we're getting offers on the house, and they are negotiating for these repairs. And if communication with one spouse is harder, it's going to slow down the process of actually selling the home. So this is where a good real estate who is a good communicator really comes into play, because we need to agree on price expectations early. We have to decide on that minimum offer before even listing on there, and have a plan for how we're going to counter offer and respond to offers, especially when there is a communication divide. So real estate agents can often act as a neutral third party, because we're not necessarily involved in your marriage. We're helping with the specific part of the home. So we're talking about ways that we can be fair and how can we communicate to really make sure that this process is ongoing and continue.
And which leads us to question number 7. How will you divide your personal belonging? Of course, when you're living in a house for so many years or even a couple of years, you need to know what you wanted to do beside of the selling your home about everything that is inside of the home. Therefore, from, for example, furniture, artwork, appliances, what is your plan for dividing your possessions? Which we need to have a plan for this. For example, will one person take certain items, or will sell everything and split the profit? This is the one question. The second one is, who gets to decide which items stay for staging purposes, which when we listing your home to get it sold. And the question number 3 is, how will you handle sentimental items on the both party wanted, both the spouses that want that?
Okay, so really this is a mean that you need to have these conversations very early before we've actually put the house to market, because the last thing we want to do is sell the house, have a contract waiting, and then still having the discussion about couch or something of the sort. So having those discussions early into the process will help us save time later and avoid any last minute disputes to when we are actually trying to get this house to another person. Now, when we're talking about starting fresh, divorce is hard. It doesn't have to be a nightmare. It can be done with the right agent to where you are doing this smoothly. We do have a guide that you can download in the description below that will help you make with these all written down so you can talk about these things.
Exactly. Therefore, we lay out the step-by-step roadmap to handle your home sale in the right way to get you a top dollar. Don't forget to watch all of our playlists here. We'd love to connect with you. And of course, call us and subscribe in our channel. And we'd love to see you next time and talk to you soon.